So, good morning. So nice to see all of you. Thank you for being here today, for spending your morning. It is beautiful outside, and I hope that you will get some outside time later today. I certainly intend to. We are in our last month together, and we are celebrating. We are celebrating where we've been. We are celebrating what we have accomplished together. And I've had lots of time over the last several days to look at pictures and think about things and consider what is ahead of us and where we've been on this journey. And it's my heart is very full this morning. It's important as we move forward in this time that we consider the stories that we're telling, that we consider how we talk about our past and how we talk about our future. And so we're going to review some of our stories. We're going to think over the next few weeks about what precious moments we want to capture and how we will tell our stories going forward. So I'm really looking forward to these weeks with you. And I'm going to ask Connie to begin this morning, but I will warn you that she made me cry this morning when she practiced this song. So if you don't have Kleenex handy, you might want some because she got me in a big way. Now I got to see if I can get through it this second time, Connie. It's all yours.
Do you want to sing Sanctuary first, or shall I just go into this solo?
Oh, yeah, let's do Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Let's
that'll
do
that'll
Sanctuary.
circle us up nice and cozy with each
Good
other.
idea.
Yeah, and then make sure you do have a tissue, and I will do my best to maintain some sense of decorum.
And it gives them a minute to go get a tissue if they need it too, right?
Right, right. Okay, let's sing Sanctuary together. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you, a sanctuary for you.
I was just going to let you go right into it, Connie.
Okay, I will. This is a beautiful song about, as Reverend Ahriana said, our stories. And you know how we can get stuck in that crappy childhood story or that crappy marriage story or my body's crappy health story. There's a crappy childhood fairy thing on YouTube, so I'm kind of into that right now. Hence the word crappy. And the whole point of all of that is uh, to come to that place of how our stories have served us and helped us to grow and strong, and we're survivors and thrivers and all of those things. So that's what this story is about. A farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher, riding on a midnight bus, bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education, and two of them were searching for lost souls. That driver never ever saw the stop sign, and 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That farmer left a harvest, a home and 80 acres, the faith and love for growing things in his young son's heart. And that teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children, did her best to give them all a better start. And that preacher whispered, "Can't you see the promised land?" as he laid his blood-stained Bible in that hooker's hand. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That's a story that our preacher told last Sunday, as he held that blood-stained Bible up for all of us to see. He said, "Bless the farmer and the teacher and that preacher who gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, now I guess we know. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway."
Everyone take a nice deep breath in and release. Thank you, Connie. Really true, isn't it, that we have to watch our stories? So I have a question for you this morning, and those of you who can get close to the chat box, I want you to answer this question for me. So just imagine that you are standing outside the coffee shop with an open cup of coffee, nice and full and steaming hot. And someone comes rushing by you, needing to get into the coffee shop quick. And as they do, they bump your arm. And when that happens, the coffee goes everywhere. The question is, why did you spill the coffee? Just take a minute and write your answer in the chat box. While you do that, I'm going to cue up a video for you. And make sure we're ready to share it. I'll just read some answers here because I wasn't paying attention because I forgot to put a lid on the cup because my cup was so full. I was in the way. You lost your balance. These are all good answers. I wasn't anticipating being jostled because it was an accident. So the why doesn't make a difference. I need to learn patience. I didn't see the person coming because someone bumped my arm clearly out of my control. I need to get back into my body. I didn't need the coffee after all. You're a brave soul, whoever said that. All right. I should have not been drinking the coffee in the first place because I'm praying for God's deliverance from coffee. An opportunity for relationship. The universe wanted us to meet. You guys are good. These are all really good answers. They're not the one I'm looking for. The one I'm looking for is this. You spilled coffee because coffee is what you had in your cup. If you had had tea in your cup, you would have spilled tea. If you had had milk in your cup, you would have spilled milk. So what is the point? The point is the world is going to bump you. It's going to bump you. It's going to jostle you. Sometimes it's downright going to push you around. And when it does, what will spill out is what is inside. It's really important that we are thoughtful about what we carry around inside of us. And that really is what I want to talk about this morning. I want to talk about how we embody our unity principles, not just how we know them, but how over our time together, we've been learning to embody them. Because when the world bumps us around, that's what we want to spill out. But before we talk about that, I want to share a little video with you. I am going to be sharing a video with you each week because there are too many things in 11 years for me to talk about all of them. There are just too many amazing, sweet, wonderful moments. So each week I'm going to share a little video and I'm going to start with this one. This one covers our first 5 years together, really our first 4 years. It ends right at the beginning of 2015. Just get that. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. I got to go back and do it again. It's that kind of a technical morning for me. Here we go. Yeah, so there were a lot of fun faces in there, and I will post that for you on our Facebook page so you can watch it again if you want. Lots of really good memories. It was fun to go. I have about 3 times that many pictures. I could have gone through, but those were the some of the highlights, some of the big moments. So I'll post that for you so you guys can take a look at it. And next week we'll look at 2015 to 2018 and see how things changed over the years, because they have pretty dramatically. I'm going to just switch this around. So I've been with you guys for 11 years. I started in October of 2010, and Lawrence left at the end of December. So I was on my own in January. And from that time till now, the undercurrent of what I have hoped for in the work we would do is that we would learn to embody unity principles. There's one thing to know what unity principles are. And we've gone over them and gone over them and gone over them and gone over them and gone over them. And you've heard them from me probably at least one in every lesson. Everything I've taught has tied back in some way to these principles. And there's still something different about having them in our head or having them in our heart and having them guide our lives. So I want to go through them with you one more time and talk to you about how we embody, how we really live from these particular principles. Sorry about that. That's what I want. So I want to talk to you as part of our celebration together about embodying these principles and taking them in our hearts and having them be how we live. The first principle that we all agree to is there is one God. And we don't have to call it God. We can call it anything we want. We can call it Mother God. We can call it Father God. We can call it Source. We can call it anything we want to call it. We can call it Great Spirit. I often will refer to God as the Holy, because it doesn't really, for me, have a gender or a shape. It's more of a universal field, a source from which everything comes. And many of you have seen me use this little box, and I'm going to hold it up so you can see it again. If you look in the little box, this bed of nails, just to talk about how all things emerge from one place. That there's one field and everything is sourced from that one energy, the oneness that is God. And that God is good. And sometimes I think personally that God is sometimes neutral, like Switzerland. That God isn't here to choose sides. This is good and that's bad. It's kind of our job to choose this is good or this is bad, or this is just neutral. It's just what is right now. So we know this principle. And for some of us, myself included, using the word God was a little challenging. It kind of threw me back into a more difficult time, a time that changed me religiously in other faith traditions. So it's one of the big changes for me over my time here has been growing comfortable and reclaiming a word that I had left in my past that at one time was really precious to me. That's one of the gifts I think Unity has given me, is that ability to reclaim that. So if we are one with that God, which is what our second principle says, there is one God and we are one with that God, then we are not just a drop of God in the ocean of God, but we are the whole of God. We are the whole of the potential of life. And what limits us is being in these human bodies, is what we do with our minds and what we do with our whole being. We're busy working, We're busy raising children. We're not disciplining our minds. We are in the flow of what everybody says. We're watching commercials and learning that we have to use a particular kind of aftershave or a particular kind of hairspray, because if we want to have love in our lives, we have to drive a certain kind of car. We have all kinds of stuff coming at us that distracts us from centering our minds and from directing our thoughts. But the truth is, if there is one God, and all things, all life, all that there is sourced from that one field of energy. And that one field of energy is good, or sometimes neutral. Then aren't we also good and sometimes neutral? Sometimes not having to choose something or label something as good or bad, but just knowing that it is. We know that our thoughts are manifest in the physical world, that what we think makes a difference. And this is what Connie talked about this morning with her song. What is the story you're telling of your life? What is your narrative? How are you using your mind to shape your life by the story that you tell? What is the story of our world that you're telling? Is the story of our world that it's broken, that it is broken beyond repair, that there's a whole lot of messed up people out there, that things are breaking down? If those are the stories that we're telling, that is the world we're manifesting. And all of our minds are connected, so we can manifest a very powerful story if we choose. What if the story that we manifest is different? What if we see what is happening in our world as a step in the direction of change, as the path to being different, to living more from our sacred heart? This story is really important because our thoughts are directing that field as to how the world will manifest. It's a powerful, powerful thing to understand. So ask yourself, have you learned to disciple your mind? Have you made your mind a follower rather than a leader? If we say, have you disciplined your mind, we think of punishment. But to disciple, as the disciples followed Jesus, the disciples follow Christ consciousness. Have we discipled our minds to follow Christ consciousness, to follow our divine heart, to follow the holy manifest through us, rather than to follow a world that wants to always distract us from who we really are and what we're really doing here? Our principles tell us that in order to disciple our minds, we use the tools of meditation and prayer. These are our tools. Meditation of any length trains the mind to listen rather than to analyze. And when the divine consciousness, when the holy consciousness comes to us, it comes in moments of stillness. That's why we have the words, be still and know, painted on the front of our sanctuary, so that we are reminded, be still and know. You know the sentence, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. In those moments of meditation, we remember who we really are. The object of any amount of stillness is that we recognize the I am as it moves through us and as us and into the world. Prayer is an opportunity to change our state of being. We don't pray to a God in a beseeching, begging way. Please, oh God, fix what is broken in my world. We understand that it's ours to fix what is broken in our world. It's ours to disciple our minds. It's ours to listen to allow the divine to guide us forward. Unity uses a 5-step method of prayer. You hear it all the time, but we don't talk about it very often. First, we relax and we breathe. Just let's do it. Just relax for a moment. Take a deep breath in. And as you do, allow your heart to open to this moment and this time, this very present right now. Allow yourself to center in the oneness of the holy, in the oneness of this community, in the oneness of your own heart. And as you center, allow yourself to be fully expressed as who you really are. Be aware of the I am presence. At this moment, you may either meditate for a moment or from your oneness, speak an affirmative prayer about something that is important to you right now. Just take this moment of silence. And as you offer this prayer, affirming what is true in your life, offer also gratitude for what already is, for this which is created, which we affirm, which is manifest through us as the divine. We're grateful, so thankful, and so it is. The last principle is perhaps the most important to me personally, and that is that knowing is not enough. We have to take action. In other words, we can know all of these principles. We can understand that there is a God, however we want to define and experience that. And we can understand that we are emerging from that God, that there is nothing else, and so we must be God expressing, because there is no other anything. And if we are God expressing, then we are inherently good, and we are inherently also manifesting by our thoughts and by our stillness and by our divine consciousness. And as we move into a world that is manifest by us, we must live into what we have created. We must make our choices by the Christ consciousness that guides us. We must live in and as the holy. And that, I think, is what the last 11 years have been about for me. That if I leave you with something useful, my hope is that I leave you understanding that we must live these principles from our whole being. They must guide us in what we do. Just knowing them is not enough. And here's why. This is a brilliant quote by Stephen Charleston that I'm going to read it twice to you. Listen to the words and read it with me. The tipping point of faith is the threshold of spiritual energy where what we believe becomes what we do. When that power is released, there is no stopping it, for love is a force that cannot be contained. Let's read it again. The tipping point of faith is the threshold of spiritual energy where what we believe becomes what we do. When that power is released, there is no stopping it, for love is a force that cannot be contained. That's what we've been up to for 11 years. Every week, in all the lessons, in everything we've done, is moving from a belief into doing our Christ consciousness, into living into our world as powerful manifestors, creating a world that is holy and sacred and honors all life. And it has been such a magnificent thing to be in this lesson with you. It has deepened everything about my life. I hope it has done the same for you. Connie?
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Well, the places you will go and the people you will know, don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Thank you, Connie. So, if I asked you now, how come you spilt your coffee? Why? What would you say? Because coffee is what you had in your cup. The point of this lesson is, what is in your cup? How will you take these principles out into the world and live by them, so that when the world bumps you, what spills out is the holy? That's who you are. It's who you are always, in the most difficult moment, in the most challenging moment, in the most beautiful moment. It's who you are. I have a couple of quick announcements for you this morning. I'm going to, Jamie, I saw that you're here, and I want you to jump online because this is an important moment, an important month for Westside Cares. It's one of our 4 months of supporting Westside Cares. And Jamie, maybe you could unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, and I just put it in the chat window as well, so that you have the addresses. But as Ahriana said, it's one of those 4 months where we provide additional support to Westside Cares. There's 2 locations where you can bring your food donations. One is the Westside Food Pantry in the Westside Community Center on Bijou, and the 1600 block of Bijou. If you're taking Uinta heading west, all you have to do is just go down 17th Street, and that'll take you right there. It's a big school on the left. You just go to the back, and the dock is behind the building. And that is open on Mondays from 9:30 to 11, every Monday from 9:30 to 11. The other location is on Thursdays at the actual Westside Cares building, which is in the 2800 block of West Colorado Avenue. So again, if you're heading west, all you do is just go down 28th Street and you'll drive right to it. You'll see a little parking lot to the right once you cross Pikes Peak. And the dock there is also in the back of the building. I believe it's the second building, that's the Westside Cares building. They really do very much appreciate those donations. And I know community has been wonderful about providing for Westside Cares. On the Westside Cares website, you'll see the list of items that are most currently needed. And often we do run those in the Unity Bulletin, and we'll make really sure to do that for the month of June. Know in addition, though, that any staples are welcome. So that would be rice, beans, anything that is shelf stable. If you want to donate milk, make sure that it is shelf stable. I know as we get into the summer, there'll be questions about produce because some of you have gardens. Last summer, Westside Cares was not able to take produce from churches. They did from other companies, but not from churches because it has to do with the packaging. And we can find out what the rule is this year. But I also know that Forrest will know where other produce can be donated. So if you get into that situation and you're unsure, talk to Forrest because she'll be in the know. She gardens. And I don't know what else to say at this point.
That's all right. What I want to say is I want to ask each of you to put your hand on your heart just for a minute. And I want to ask for a check-in right now. So I want you to just close your eyes and go inside, and I want you to just listen for a minute. We are at a point with Westside Cares where we need a new leader to step up. This person will be responsible for staying in touch with Westside Cares, for bringing announcements to the community, for guiding us through the process of what we need for backpacks and what we need for Thanksgiving baskets and our Christmas gift giving for families in need. And they'll remind us each of the 4 months that we guide this, that we are responsible for really thinking about the food that goes into our community. This is a really important position in our community, and Jamie, as you know, has stepped up as president of the board and cannot continue to do this job. So she will be stepping down July 1st, or sooner if we can find someone, but she will step down on July 1st whether we have a replacement or not. And that's a very important thing to understand. Without a replacement, we will be less able to help. So I'm asking you that you, with your hand on your heart, ask yourself, is this mine to do? And just be still and listen for a moment. If you get a clear no, nothing to worry about. But if there is an inkling in your heart that this might be yours to do, please reach out to us. Please send a note to our main office, Unity Rockies. If this is yours to do, now is the time we need you to step up so that Jamie can move on and do what she needs to do, and so we can continue to support our community. Gently open your eyes if you haven't already. Please know that we have been working with Westside Cares for many years, and this is a powerful and important part of our ministry in the world. Right now in June, as we go into one of those 4 months where we really focus on food, this tends to happen for us at a time when kids are really in need. So kids are not in school right now, which means they're not getting the staple of a lunch, of a good meal at lunch. So families are having more need this time of year. Your contributions, not that they're any less important because we have neighbors who are without food, but kids in particular are struggling for food, and families. And if we imagine for a moment how difficult it must be for parents who are unable to feed their children, we can see how traumatic this is. So your contributions right now make a big difference. The contributions that you make in support of the backpack program, they really make a big difference. We will be supplying paper for 166 kids this year who will have a backpack full of school supplies, because the 24 churches working together are each supplying something. So there will be 24 items in that full backpack, or 23 items in a backpack, that will allow students to come to school and feel like everyone else who got new school supplies. And I don't think any of us are too old to remember how exciting it was to get new school supplies. How much we were ready to go to school when we got our new backpack. So this is an important piece. We're still taking donations toward that. We are happy to know that you will support Westside Cares and looking for our new leader. And I just know in my heart that there is a leader in this community whose heart went, yep, that's mine to do. So please do let us know. You'll also notice in the chat box today that our women's group put in a request that if you would like to be on the women's group mailing list, so you know what the upcoming topics are, and you know when they're meeting next, you get the reminders, that they would like to gather your email addresses. Please know that we can post to you in the e-blast, but we can't distribute your email addresses. So if you would like to get the reminders, Penny has put her address in the chat box, and you can send a note to Penny. And you can also, if you lose Penny's address, just send it to the main address, to the main Unity address, which is unity@unityrockies.org, not .com, .org. And send your email address for the women's group, and Kayla will be sure and pass that on to Penny so that you guys can definitely know what's going on. I had a lovely Thursday this last Thursday. I don't know how many of you noticed in the e-blast. Some of you I know heard about it at bingo. But every Thursday through the month of June, I'm going to be sitting in the gazebo from 6 to 8 p.m. And if you would like to bring your lawn chair, bring your camping chair, and sit in the gazebo and just visit, I would love to see you. We had 6 of us with Mark, who came and sat in the gazebo for 2 hours this last Thursday, and we just had a lovely visit. It's just a very informal opportunity for us to see each other in real person before I leave here. And so if you would like to join me on any of these Thursdays, please just bring your lawn chair, bring some water. We'll unlock the north door so that if we need the bathrooms, we've got them, but we won't be going in the building. And if we should have rain on a Thursday, I will send you out a note, but you can count on the fact that I'll be in the chat box here. I'll be in the Zoom box here so that we still get to visit. While we're there, I have this, I don't know if I can do this with my headphones. I I have this cool basket. Can you hear it? Inside this basket are some wonderful stones. And you can't really, I don't know if you can see this, see what it says. But it doesn't matter if you can't read it because I'm going to give you all one, but you have to come and get it. So you can either pick one up on Thursday or on Saturday the 27th, which will, the 26th, Sunday the 27th will be my last day in the pulpit here, as it were, in the pulpit. So Saturday the 26th from 11 to 1, I'll be standing outside the church and we'll have a drive-through. And you can drive through and pick one up if you haven't come to one of the Thursday nights. So if Thursdays don't work for you, you can come on Saturday. But come by and pick one up because you'll want this for the last service. This is for the last service that we do together. So I'll have those with me on Thursday. I hope you'll be joining me. What if 100 people show up all at once? We'll break into small circles and I'll make my way around. And you'll still have time to see each other as well, which was half the fun, I think, this time, was just catching up. It was really interesting to see each other in body, like really in physical form, and really nice. So I hope that you will join us. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday or on Saturday. I will, as I said, post the video from today on our Facebook page. I will also be posting the quote that we shared today. I hope that you'll grab those words, that you will take them off of Facebook, write them down, and stick them on a mirror and remember. Really remember. I'm going to read them to you again. The tipping point of faith is the threshold of spiritual energy where what we believe becomes what we do. When that power is released, there is no stopping it, for love is a force that can't be contained. Connie, I'm going to pray us out, and then will you sing us out? Let's take a deep breath in. And release. We complete this day in such gratitude. In gratitude for all the hearts gathered here. In gratitude for all the years that we've spent together. In gratitude and excitement for what is ahead of us. Ahead of me as I move into the world in a different way. Ahead of you as a spiritual community. As you move forward in a new way. Called into whatever is your sacred service. Whatever the need is, as you go forward, Spirit is already calling you into it. And I know that your new leader is on the way. So we're grateful. Grateful to be always called into service. Grateful to know that this spiritual community has great purpose. That our gathering is not only growing us, but that our gathering moves us into the world as healers, as leaders, as guides, as the presence in every moment of divine spirit. We're grateful for the hands and hearts that make each Sunday possible, for the contributions that support this community and allow us to be on purpose in our good work. And we're grateful for this time together. And all of this we say with thanks as we close with these simple words. Amen, amen, and so it is.
All right, everyone, it has been such a beautiful morning. Thank you for being here. We're going to close with singing our song together. And I invite you to just feel in your being that we're all holding hands and join together. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. Have a blessed week, everyone. Enjoy this beautiful day.